Not so long ago, a video went viral on YouTube that showed a 60,000 psi Waterjet cutter slicing an SLR camera in half. I have to say, it made me smile to see one of the many industries that depend on the kind of hose that we sell at CRP getting attention. We'll talk more about Waterjet cutting as well as a few other applications in this episode of CRP's Industrial Go-To video series. Hello, I'm Steve Johns, Director of Business Development at CRP Industrial. One of the many different types of thermoplastic hose that CRP specializes in is ultra-high pressure hose, commonly referred as UHP. Now, if you're wondering at what point hose is deemed ultra-high pressure, that's a great question. In fact, even the standardizing bodies don't necessarily agree. However, for the sake of our discussion, anything in the CRP inventory above 10,000 psi and currently exceeding 40,000 psi is considered ultra-high pressure hose. Although 40,000 psi is commonplace for various industries, CRP is currently working on broadening our inventory to include hoses with pressures up to 58,000 psi. To give you an idea of just how high these pressures are, your average household pressure washer deals with pressures that generally range between 2,500 and 3,000 psi. Okay, so I already mentioned Waterjet cutting, so why don't we start there? Waterjet cutting is exactly what it sounds like, using high pressure jet of water, sometimes combined with an abrasive substance like garnet and aluminum oxide, to cut materials like metal or stone. Other everyday items which you may be surprised to learn can be cut with water include glass, upholstery, and carpet, and even material within the food processing industry. Another related, very popular application using water is lancing. To explain lancing, let's use an example which most of us can relate to. A great example of lancing is when a plumber uses high pressure water to unblock a clog or clean a pipe. Generally, they'll snake a small diameter hose equipped with a specialized designed head or nozzle down to the blockage and then send pressurized water down the tube, where it has a similar cutting action as the Waterjet cutter we just talked about. A similar process is used in cleaning heat exchanger tubes. Demolition and surface preparation are two other applications where equipment used generally contains high pressure supply lines to maintain volume or as part of the cutting or removal process. In demolition, which is popular for concrete removal, high pressure water is directed at the concrete, breaking it up into smaller components. You can think of surface prep applications as very similar to how a homeowner might use a pressure washer to clean off a surface. Or ratchet that pressure up a bit and you can literally remove paint. This method is often preferable to using chemical strippers or high heat. But there are also several applications where no water or other material ever leaves the hose. These self-contained applications are focused on hydraulic tools that require highly pressurized fluid to flow in and out or through the tool, typically ranging in pressures from 10,000 psi to 20,000 psi. One very unique application is a bolt tensioner. Basically, a hydraulic wrench, bolt tensioners can tighten sets of bolts simultaneously, and are handy in situations where the required torque makes it impractical to use a mechanical or electric wrench. Think of an impact wrench your auto mechanic might use, but using hydraulic fluid instead of compressed air. Another popular application for ultra-high pressure hose are emergency rescue tools. What makes UHP hose so good for these cutting and spreading implements is that the hose has a very limited volumetric expansion, which makes the tool react faster, with less lag time in critical time situations. And finally, at least for today, there is the use of ultra-high pressure hose and high pressure testing equipment. It only makes sense that if you're going to test a component for ability to handle pressure, that the testing device uses components that can also handle high pressure. We've covered a lot of ground today, but I hope this survey of some of the most common uses of UHP hose was educational. If you would like to know more, or would like to order CRP Industrial hose, don't hesitate to give us a call. And of course, please visit crpindustrial.com to view all of our products. Don't forget to subscribe to the Go-To video series from CRP Industrial, your go-to source for specialty hoses.